Hello everyone, welcome to my Premiere tutorial. I'm really excited to be doing this because this is the kind of stuff I wanted to do back in the day with Breakdown. So now I'm going to walk you through Premiere. And I'm assuming you've never touched an editing program before. I'm probably wrong on that, but I want to start from the ground up just to make sure everything's checked out. Some updates before I begin in case you care. Character creation will be coming out next week, not this week. Finals, holidays, it got delayed. Just stay with me. Hopefully this video will tie you over. Also, I got a stuffed Cyndaquil in the mail and it is amazing. But I digress from small adorable fire Pokemon onto the tutorial. I know you don't care, but I do, and I'm excited. Alright, I am actually pretty excited about this tutorial. So, we get in. This tutorial is basically about opening the interface, opening the program, and a lot's going on, and you need to immediately get what's happening so that you're not confused. And to start off a tutorial about opening the program, I'm not going to do that. I know a lot of these tutorials want to open the program and they want to go in. I want to go view 7 concepts that you need to have so that when you open the tutorial, you'll get it. This is one of those wax on, wax off moments sort of thing, so just stay with me. I'll go through them really fast. 1, you need a place to store the files. In real life, because Premiere is designed for professional editors, it is a professional program, it's trying to replicate real life editing. So for editors, they need a place to store the files. That would be the bin. And it's called the bin because it's usually, in real life, a bin where they had filmed in. So you need a bin with files. You also need a place to put them down and edit them and cut them together. Usually you can do this on a table or, the thing, whatever. You need a place where you can take these files, you can put them down, and you can slice them, and you can actually make your film. This is usually referred to as the timeline, where it's all your films, all your little clips and stuff, and you've put them together. You also need a place where you can watch the scene before you put it on the timeline to make sure it's correct, or only because you only want that part. So you need to be able to actually view the clip before it's been gone into the editing process. You also need a window that is the final window where then you can watch the finished film as you're editing it, so you can actually see what you're doing. You also need tools. You need to be able to have a razor and cut it. You need to be able to move around, zoom in, select things. So you have to have your tools along with there. You also need a place where you can check the audio levels to make sure that the audio is correct. And finally, you need the ability to do effects and image editing stuff, so you can make it darker or whatnot. That's your final touch process. The 7 things you're going to need are a bin, a timeline, a preview window to watch the original source of video, a final window to watch the movie that you're actually making, tools so that you can control it and cut it, audio levels so you can see what the audio is doing, and finally effects so you can do transitions and all that sorts of stuff. So assuming you've got those concepts, we're now going to jump into Premiere and you'll see those 7 things are right there in the interface for the first time. This is what you see when you jump in. Now, remember, 7 concepts. 1, bin. Locate a place where you can store your files. That's this right here. At bottom left, now I've put some video files there as an example, but you'll see it's got time codes, it's got all sorts of stuff, but this is where you can view your files. That's just it saving. You can also have timeline view if you want to see images of it, and have all sorts of stuff, but that's where you store your files. 2, your preview, to your timeline. This is where you can actually edit your clips. Now, you can take your clips out of the bin as you would in real life and place them in here. Now, this is your timeline. I'm not going to go into a lot of stuff. I'm not going to explain it. I just want you to know that this is the timeline where you can cut and edit and move tools together. This is where you're actually doing the editing process. Preview. You got to be able to watch your clips. Now that's this window up here at the top left. You can take your clip and you can double click on it and it'll appear in this window. You can then play it and see for yourself. So you've got your preview to watch the original source, your timeline, and your bin. Now, you need to be able to watch the one you're actually making. That is this window over here in black. You come here and you scrub through the video. Now I've put in the first episode of DM Workshop. Check that out down below. Some plug, Okay, so this is your final video and you can scrub through it and you can see that it works. You can also hit play up here and it'll play through the video. Stop. So those are the first 4 things we talked about. You also have to have the ability to cut and actually move your footage around. That will be the tools here. Now the selection tool is the one I can obviously select things with. There's the razor tool to slice up your footage as you would in real life. This is where you can then select and move clips about. So experiment with that. There's also your audio over here. If I hit play up here, you can see that the audio moves, demonstrating what's going on. Now in the timeline, just a quick tip, the video layers are up top and the audio video layers are down below, so you can see. Now this video contains both video and audio, so that they appear in 2 tracks. Audio, video, it's labeled. The last thing you're going to need are effects for things like transitions and whatnot. If you go over here, there's something called effects in this window. Now effects have, again, your video transitions, your audio effects, and video effects. So if you go to things like maybe a cross dissolve, because you want the video to fade, you can click and drag that over. Now it's small. I'll zoom in, which you can do by grabbing these handlebars or by using the zoom tool. And if I hit play or space, but if I play, it will fade between the 2 clips. You kind of get your effects there. Now, there's also effects controls up here, which by selecting a clip, you can do things like adjust its scale, assuming I'm on the clip, and position, and all sorts of fun things. So those are your 2 types of effects. Those are your bin, your preview window, which is selected up in this tab, your final window, your timeline, your audio, and your tools. Now, there are some other things: effects controls, audio mixer, where you can remix audio, media browser, where you can zoom through stuff and explore your computer, information on the file that you have selected, effects we've been over, markers, which I'll go over later, and history, where you can undo things that you've done. If we go back here, then you will see that we are back where we began, and you have all of your 7 things: your bin, your timeline, your tools, your preview, your final, your audio, and your effects. I hope this clears things up, and I'll see you again for the next tutorial, where we go over customizing the interface and going more into depth of each of those 7 things. Alright, see you guys then.